6 feet in the ground. Got me ride together, now when we die together. There's still things I need to know. I need to mind forever. I need you mine forever. So you know I need a fly, bitch. On that plane, and you know it's private. Solid, we can do this shit inside. Solid. Just chill for a minute, I'ma put you in a trapeze. I'm tired for these bitches, I ain't got friends. Every time that a nigga hit a drop 10, don't you worry about where I've been. See all this time that I spend on that first miss. Late nights, we get lost in the sex and kissing, caressing. You gotta live through the lessons. Keep it real, you get blessings. Yeah, the sisters got me stressing. So when I'm with you, you get all my attention. Don't ever trip about these bitches in my mentions. Yeah, yeah. Real nigga, so you know I need a fly, bitch. Oh, yeah. Did a bitch, so you know I put my time. Yeah. And I be hurt, so I gotta emphasize it.
Hey guys, it's Sash. We live on MTM Radio. Shout out to Keefyyy Carter, who's here right now, my special guest. Thank you for pulling up, first and foremost. Thanks for your time. I don't know too much about you. I've been listening to your music recently. I was going to do a little bit of lurking to figure out, what's what. But then I was like, I'd rather not. When you come out, just interrogate you because that's what I'm known to do. Right. So for those who don't know, give us a little about yourself. Like, where are you from and when you started making music?
I'm from Long Island, New York.
Okay.
Started making music when I was 15. Like, that's when I started recording songs. But
okay.
Like, I started writing when I was 13. And then I was just, like, into, like, writing bars. Like, I was just rapping. Okay. And I was, like, really heavily into battle rap and shit. And just into writing. Just writing, not even music, just writing in general. And it turned into me expressing myself through writing. And then that turned into making music. So,
okay.
Yeah. So, I dropped my first mixtape when I was 17, and then I just been.
What was the name of your first mixtape?
It was.
I gotta ask.
It was Live Intellectually, Flyer, and Elevated.
Okay, so what was the inspiration behind that?
During that time, I don't know. It was just I was in California. I was living in California because I spent a lot of time living in California.
Okay,
and,
that's dope.
I just dropped out of school again twice. Cause I was going to school in Long Island, but they kicked me out. Like they were trying to put me in some weird program and basically take me out of my home, and like they had like CPS involved and shit. So I just like left the school. Like so I just dropped out. It was either that or going to group home. So.
Oh wow.
So,
okay.
So I chose that and I dropped out, and then I ended up moving to California because my brother got stationed in the Navy, and he was like, "Yo, come out here, like I'll take care of you and shit." So I went out there and I started going to school out there.
When you were a teenager?
Yeah, this when I was a teen. So
okay.
That was right around the time when I started making that first mixtape. So that's how I came up with it. One day I was just like, yo, I need to finally put together a project. Like I need to, cause I just was recording songs.
But you never had anything together?
I never put anything together. So like I was just one day, I remember I was in my brother's house, and I just was like looking at stuff in the house, trying to come up with a name or a concept. And I just found something like quotes that were on the wall and shit. And I just kind of like pieced it all together. And then from there, I already knew what I wanted it to sound like. And then ever since I came back to New York, that like month after that, and then that's when I recorded the whole first mixtape.
Oh, okay, wow. So what would you say, like, what is your creative process like as far as making music or making a song? Like what is that
Okay, it differs. It differs a lot. It depends like on my mood. Like sometimes like I just I look for beats and shit like. And it's usually the beat. Like the beat has to speak to me. If the beat doesn't speak to me, like
that doesn't work.
It doesn't work out. Like I won't force it. Like I'm that type of person where I don't force things. Like so, it's like I have to be going through something for me to make a song like that I actually care about. Because if I make a song and it's trash, like I'll trash the song in the first 30 seconds of me making it. Like I'll know if it's trash or not. And I'll be like, nah, this is trash, out of here. So, and then I'll just take breaks from music. Like I'll take breaks from trying to make music, breaks from being in the studio, just to like free my mind. And
I was gonna say, why do you do that?
Yeah, to free my mind and just to have a organic perspective. So it's not like I'm just in the studio every day trying to force force something, you know? I like my music to be organic.
So what would you say differentiates you from you and other up and coming artists?
I mean, I guess what differentiates me is like I'm very versatile, and it's like I use that to an advantage, to where it's like I actually speak on things that I go through, like, you know, like I try to keep my music as personal as possible, but at the same time still where people can still connect to it and relate to it, you know, like,
Because as a person, like I said, I started listening to your music a couple months ago. As a person who really doesn't personally know you, I sound like a lot of your music is relatable, is genuine, and I feel like a lot of up and coming artists sometimes, like I've said so many times before on the show, it's exaggerated. It's things that I really don't care about. Like, it's not like we all can rap about bottles and bud and chicks and the whole 9 yards.
and I went through that phase.
Yeah. So when you get through that, it's just like, okay, when I finally meet someone who's more like authentic, it's like, yes, for me.
Right.
So that's definitely a key factor. What would you say like motivates you to continue making music? Because I know sometimes the independent artist, it's not always the easiest. There's advantages and there's disadvantages.
Right. It's a struggle. I guess what motivates me is just like the need to always express myself, you know, like, because that's like my only outlet. Like, for a long time, like, I was going through a lot of shit, and music was my escape. Like, you know, music was the only way I could like get through what I was going through, you know, because I didn't have nobody there for me, you know. So like music
Like
was
therapy.
Yeah, it was.
I feel
yeah.
like music is the soul's therapy. That's what I truly do feel like.
Right.
So I definitely feel like music brings people together. So is you saying like, is that something that I guess maybe help you got through whatever certain times that you were going through?
Yeah, music definitely. It's not even like getting me. It is getting me through the times, but it's really just getting what's inside of me out. You know, like, because if you keep everything like inside of you, that I feel like that's when it really starts to damage you. You know,
Right? Yeah, like bottling. You're like a bottler.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
then you
like,
explode.
And it's like I don't choose to be a bottler. You know, it's just like I never had nobody to talk to. You know. So like that was my only way to get it out,
Express
like,
yourself.
express myself, and to really just try to step away from whatever I was going through.
I think music is one of the most dopest ways to express yourself. So I find it to be very admirable. I feel like I can hear that through your music.
Yeah.
Now that you're saying that, what would you say is some of your musical, some of your favorite artists, or what are your musical influences, or what did you grow up listening to?
Okay, I'm gonna do my influences now, then I'm gonna do
What you grew up listening to? Okay, cool.
So now, like, my favorite artists, I would say, are like Party Next Door. Like, he's like my.
I like the Party Next Door a lot.
Yeah. That's the only.
He's dope.
He's the only artist that I actually look up to. Like, I'm the type of
Really?
person where I've never looked up to like anybody. The only person I've ever looked up to was my father, and it's just like I idolize him so much, it was impossible for me to idolize anybody else.
Me too.
You know, so I mean, he's the only person like me now, like mature me, like that I actually look up to, to like nobody else.
Yeah.
Like,
because I feel like a lot of like with this younger generation, they always be like, oh my god, relationship goals, or oh my god, I look up to this person. It's like, you don't really know I don't really know you. Like,
Right.
for me, it's like my parents. Like, I know them, I know them my whole life. Like, I
Right.
want to be just like them.
Right,
Like,
you know that it's real.
You know that it's real. Yeah. So that's pretty
because
dope.
most artists just put up a facade, and it's like you don't really get to know the real them.
Yeah.
But I feel like me and him are very similar. Like, you know, like we come from the same background. We're both like very like reserved, like, and the way we create our music
Is he into music
similar.
a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not my father. Party Next Door.
Huh?
I'm talking about Party Next Door.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you were talking about your dad. I'm
Nah.
sorry. Okay. No, but Party Next Door on a whole, I think he's a very dope, talented artist. I'm definitely a fan
Right.
of his. How do you feel like you relate to him?
I don't know. It's just the vibes.
Oh, you just vibes? I was gonna say, is
it's
this a vibe?
I don't even have to relate to him. Like, you know, like it's just I really appreciate his craft. Like, you know, like I appreciate his sound, because like I feel like he's the one that started the sound where it's like singing and rapping. So like I have that kind of sound, but it's like me. But I feel like he's the one that created it. Like he's the
Right.
pioneer of what's popular now. You know, so
Because at first when I came across your music, I ignorantly, and I'll use the word ignorantly so loosely, thought that you were a rapper. So when I heard you, I was like, oh, he be singing. I was like, okay, I was so wrong. That's what you get for this. So
Right.
how would you describe your music to new felt people, maybe like myself or others who never heard of you before?
That's crazy you say that, because I literally just started singing like it's been 2 years, 3 years.
Okay.
Like, and it's just for a long time I just didn't know I had the ability to sing. I was just so
Wow.
stuck in being a rapper.
A rapper.
And so hardcore, like with rap.
Mm-hmm.
I never listened to R&B. So growing up, my ears were only for hardcore rap music. Like I only listened to like DMX, The Lox, like that was it. Nas, Wu-Tang. Like I didn't listen to nothing else. Like, and I grew up with the mindset thinking that R&B was soft. You know, like singing was soft. Like that's,
is it a guy thing?
No,
I
but
don't
listen,
know.
my brother, he's older than me. When I was younger, he used to listen to rap. He used to listen to R&B stuff and pop music. And I used to look at him and be like, "Yo, like, what
you listening to?
Like, what's good with you, bro?"
You know,
like,
what's funny? Growing up, my brother's the one who really put me on hip hop music. That's a funny thing. I was into, my parents would listen to a lot of gospel and country music and old school reggae. So I was more drawn to like old school reggae. And my brother was born in Jamaica, but I was born here. So it was like the total opposite. He was a super hip hop head. I was a super reggae. So just to, you know, be influenced by that, I think that's what drew me in. So it's so funny that you said that your brother was really into that, because I could so relate to that.
Yeah, he was heavy on the R&B, and it was just like, I just always looked at it like, yo, what the fuck? Like, why are you listening to that? Like, you a guy. Like, it felt like it was for, I felt like it was for females, you know? But then I matured, you know, I became a man, and then I started getting tired of rap. That's what happened. Like, cause I was doing it for so long, it just came to the point where I'm like, yo, like this is getting boring now. Cause my mind is so crazy. Like it's so open, you know?
Your mind is expanding. As you get older, our mind evolves, it expands. So it's just like, if you were like in a certain box, as you get older, you're like, listen, I like other stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I want to try something new. I want to explore. I want to, you know, and then that's how I started singing. I just stopped listening to rap. And
started singing?
Yeah.
What's one thing that you would want your supporters to remember about your music?
Just remember that my shit was honest, you know, like a lot of artists, they just get into the studio and they force it. They try to make, you know, like they try to make what's popping. They try to make what's popular, and they make music just so that they can get a certain status. Like, you know, like that's not what I make music for, you know? Like, I grew up like into business. Like I was into business before I was into music. Like it was just instilled in me, like, you know, because my dad was into business, my mom was into business.
What kind of business? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, my statute of limitations. So my dad, he used to sell drugs, like, and we had everything, like, you know, like I grew up having everything, but I lost my dad when I turned 8. He got locked up, so he's been in jail ever since.
Okay.
So like I had that side from him, and then my mom, she's like, she went to school to be a lawyer, and then she switched over into accounting. Now she's a financial expert for like a big corporation, and she basically like runs companies and shit. Like so business was always instilled in me
from you were young.
To make that transfer into music, like I never felt like I needed to make a certain type of music or to become popular in music, because I always knew that regardless I was gonna be successful in business.
Right.
So I'm not like on a crutch, you know, like I don't use my music as a crutch. It's really what I love, and you know what I'm saying? It's really how I express, it's how I survive, like, you know.
Do you think that's what keeps you motivated, or that's what like influences your music?
Yeah, it definitely you know what? Actually, real life shit influences my music. Like, you know, like shit that I go through influences my music.
I feel like you can hear that in your music.
Yeah,
I think that's what draws me to your music. And I feel like when an artist is just transparent, when you're just transparent with your audience, you become more relatable, more genuine, and it's like, okay, I like your music because you're not telling me a story or something that you just made up. You just being honest.
Right.
What's the first song that you ever wrote or recorded?
The first song I ever...
I know that's everybody give me that look when I ask them. They one eye gets small, the other eye gets big. They start looking up. They can't remember. So yeah, That's a good question. I want to know.
The first song I ever recorded was, I was actually living in Miami. This is when I first dropped out of high school, and I actually had that summer. My sister said that I could come stay with her, and she was going to college at the University of Miami, and she got like a little apartment with her friends and shit. her little roommates.
Uh-huh.
So I was staying there with her, and she had a MacBook, like it was like an old school MacBook.
Right.
And it had GarageBand on it. So I was just playing with it because during that time I was writing.
Mm-hmm.
So I always was writing, but I never got to be in the studio. I never got to record. So one day I just figured it out by myself, and I recorded myself on her MacBook, and I made a remix to Dear Summer. And that was the first song I recorded and released. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So from the first song that you recorded until now, what would you say as far as an artist, how have you evolved?
I mean,
or what's the difference between now and then?
Wow, there's a big difference. I mean, then I was just strictly just rapping. It was just about bars.
And you weren't singing at that time?
I wasn't singing, and
Okay.
I didn't have no song structure. I mean, like nowadays, sometimes I don't have song structure just because I don't like to be confined. Like I don't like to feel like I have
Good.
to do something.
I like that.
You know, like I just like to go off the vibes. Like just whatever I feel and whatever I'm going through at that moment, I'm just gonna let it come out. And be how it is. I'm not gonna try to change it. You know?
Yeah, I feel like raw.
Exactly.
Just raw. Okay.
That's what I try to do.
That's good. So what's playing in your iPod right now? If I was gonna go through your iPod or your Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, whichever way you listen to music, what would be the maybe last 5 to 10 songs that I would hear?
Wait,
from
the last 10 songs that like I played, or like the stuff that I listen to most?
See, that's a good counter question. I
Right.
never got that one before. Okay, both. The
Okay.
last that you played, and then what you listen to the most. Answer both.
Okay, the last song that I played actually was by this artist called Keefyyy, and the song is called Need You featuring Gunna. And I really like Keevyyy's, like I think he's a singer. Like that was the first time I heard his music actually. That was the last song that I listened to. And like the people that I listen to the most, like I listen to Party Next Door a lot. Wale I listen to a lot.
Wale's dope.
Yeah, I like.
Soulful.
I write poetry, so I'm very into like the poetic. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
can see that. I can see that in your music.
Yeah, but I keep it separate from my music though.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Wale, Party Next Door, who else? Trying to think about my playlist. Probably like some R&B stuff. I like Sanford. I listen to a lot of Sanford, but I have to be in like a certain mood to listen to him.
Okay.
One
more.
Let me try.
We need one more. It could be new. It could be old. Doesn't matter.
I'm stuck right now. I can't think of nobody that I've been listening to.
So we'll let you think about that, and we get back to that question. My other question is, if you get a feature right now, you featuring a singer and a rapper, who would it be? You got like 30 seconds. You got to make this quick. Party Next Door. All right. And I need a rapper.
And I need him to be singing and rapping.
And rapping. Okay.
Yeah.
Another
and
person.
Then I'm gonna sing and rap. Nah, just me and him. That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Ooh. Okay. So Party Next Door. We got to get Party Next Door to see this, because I like that answer. I like that answer a lot. That sounds real confident.
Because he sings and he raps really good. So and I kind of like do the same thing, but I'm a little bit more hardcore with the rapping. But maybe we could do like one song singing, one song rapping. I don't know. Switch it up.
What would you say is your biggest achievement so far as being an independent artist?
Biggest achievement. I don't know. I feel like I don't have any achievements. Like
no. Why would you say that?
I'm only saying that. I'm only saying that because like it's not about that with me. You know, like like I really this is like what I love. You know,
right?
Like, so it's not like I'm not trying to like. There's no like ceiling for me. You know,
right.
like there's nowhere I'm looking. Like it's just I'm just doing what I love. So that alone, me being able to do what I love for this long is an achievement.
Well, then, yeah, that's a good answer. Then
Right.
that's a very good answer, because I feel like that's genuine. And like you said, you're not doing it to be like, oh, I want to be number one, or I want 1 million views or whatever. I just want to relate to people, whether it's
Just
one
connect
person
to people, yeah.
or if it's 20,000 people.
Right.
So for like people like myself that don't, like I said, don't know that much about you, what can we expect from you?
You can expect more music. Like that's really it, and it's just a bunch of other things because I do a lot of shit. So I direct, I manage.
You direct your own music videos?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah,
and not a lot of people do that. Are you
Yeah.
aware? I'm sure you know that.
I know.
Not a lot of artists.
There's a
few artists. I haven't met a lot of
Very
artists that
select few.
actually direct their own. So you direct your own music videos?
Right.
So you come up with the creative concept?
I shoot music videos too.
Okay.
But yeah, I
That's
come up with. I'm
dope.
very into like writing, so like my passion for writing kind of like just coincide with the vision that I've always had a vision, so I've always been able to visualize things. Like even in my music, if you listen to it closely enough, it's like it's already a video. Like you listen to the song,
You can
and
see certain
you
things.
can see what's
Yeah,
happening.
I could get that.
That's
I get that.
that's exactly how my mind works. So it's like I've always been into visions. Like I like to write movies, just like creative shit, like just random shit. I like to do it for fun. So I mean,
So some of the songs I was listening to you on SoundCloud, like Mine Forever, Deja Vu, how did those come about? Or is that from a certain project, or is that from an upcoming project?
yeah. My Forever is off my EP Gone for the Summer that just dropped August 31st, and
Okay.
Deja Vu is off my album When the Sun Rises. That's coming out soon, probably in the next few months.
Okay.
Just want to do a little bit.
Because I'm going to play a little bit of Deja Vu. But before I play it, I want to know a little bit of what it's about. Because I was listening to it. So I want to know what's popping.
Yeah, Deja Vu is just, I mean, just relationship shit. Like,
Sound like some relationship shit.
I'm a relationship guy. Like, you know, like I like to be in relationships. I don't like to be.
That's what's
like
up.
I already went through my single phase.
Yeah.
Like my whole phase. I already did that when I was like 17. So
Yeah.
ever since then, I've always like I'm very mature. Like I want to settle down. Like I want a family. You know, like I want children. Like you know what I'm saying. Like I want a daughter really bad. So I've always looked for that type of woman. You know. So and it's kind of like hindered me in a way, like to where like I'm kind of thirsty for it. So I kind of just allow myself to be a little bit too open.
Right.
You know, because I'm kind of like searching for
wrong
something.
with that.
I don't. You know what? I don't trip because at the end of the day, that shit makes my music better. Like me being open and me being vulnerable and
Yeah.
putting myself into
Out
relationship after relationship, regardless of what happened in the past. Because every single girl that I've been with has done me wrong. Like either lied to me,
Really?
cheated. Every single. There's only one girl, two girls. I'll say 2 girls out of, and I've been in a lot of relationships.
Ladies, you hear this?
Every single girl has done me wrong.
Ladies, you hear this? This is a man that is saying that he has been done wrong by. You know how many women out there crave a man that will not do them wrong?
You know how many women don't give a fuck? Like how many women?
No, I don't know.
Nah.
So every time I come across a guy that be like, yo, these bitches ain't shit. Yo, these chicks ain't
They
shit. I be like, where? What?
They aren't.
My friends and I, we be like, yo, where they? You know,
Right.
like, so when I come across a guy like that, it's just like, okay, that's super dope. I feel like, I don't know if it's society or it's this generation, the internet, technology has taken away
horrible.
from the values of what it takes to be in a committed relationship to eventually move towards marriage and stuff like that. I don't know if that's what takes away. I don't know.
Nobody
if it's the
wants that
music,
anymore.
I
Nobody.
don't know what it is, but I mean, I feel like as a woman, you know, we all want that. I'm from where my mom and my dad been together for 30 years, you know.
I
And
think
I
I know.
think it's
I think I got the
amazing.
answer. I think it's just some people aren't ready for it. They may want it, but
They're not ready.
So when it comes, it's just like they're like they don't know what to do, and they
Sad.
fuck it up. They
Sadly.
fuck right.
That's
I
so
feel
whack.
like that's what it is. Like you know, and
That's so whack.
that song was just basically me being transparent, like me just really speaking on the shit that I go through in my relationship. Like
Right.
you know, like I was saying a lot of things in that song directly to the person that I'm with. So like if you listen to my songs, they're
Sound
all
like you're talking to somebody.
they're exactly.
Somebody did some shit.
That's exactly. But it's not necessarily bad. Like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, I
Like
get it.
because I'm the type of person like I'm very patient. I'm very tolerant. So you can do a lot of bad shit to me and I won't break. I won't budge. I'm very solid. So it's just me expressing myself.
That's
Like
all.
me and my girl, we go through a lot of shit. But no matter what I say in my music, I still love her. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I could be talking the most shit, but at the end of the day, I'm just expressing myself.
You're just expressing yourself.
Exactly. And she hates that shit, by the way.
Well, listen, one day I'm sure one day she'll appreciate it. As far as I just want for those who want to first and foremost, I want to thank you for coming for sure. I want to for those who want to download your music, stream your music, or who just want to connect with you creatively for business, you know, purposes, let us know your social media handles, your email, SoundCloud, Instagram, anywhere we could find you at.
Okay, my Instagram, Twitter is at Keefyyy Carter. That's KEEF 3 Y's Carter. So that's the same on Instagram and Twitter. And you can find all my music.
SoundCloud,
same thing. Keefyyy Carter. Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, all that shit. Same thing. All Keefyyy
All
Carter.
Keefyyy Carter.
Mhm.
Okay.
And also keefyycarter.com is my website. You can find all my stuff there too.
Okay, so lastly, what can we expect for you? Because I'm gonna play Deja Vu, and then I'm gonna get into a couple of your other songs real quick. I'm not gonna play all the songs. So I want you guys to go to his website, keefyycarter.com. I want you to go to SoundCloud to play his music. What can we expect from you? What's next?
When the Sun Rises, the album.
This season?
This season.
This season?
This
All right.
season.
We don't need a date. We don't need too much info. Okay, so shout out to you. Thank you for coming again. I really appreciate it. We're gonna get into Keefyyy Carter, Deja Vu.
These niggas lie to me. I be on the face too. Oh, so predictable. You know what you tend to. I don't know what you talking about. You always just pretend to. Gotta think different when you know they're tryna hand you. Blaming me for acting when you know you did it too. Tryna hit on promises. The wrongs got me than you. You never open up to me. Always make it difficult. When these chicks say they had a breath. She was running for my love. You the fastest shit. Can't put no trust in these hoes. You gon' get your head. Tears to the vibe and we had the sex. Taking this shit for granted. I hope that you understand that there's no one else on the planet. If your heart is genuine, you should've took advantage of all the time I tried to spend breaking down your barriers. You don't even speak to me. Feelings all in a race. Say you all love me, ain't even been a minute yet. Claiming I'm in love with bitches that I ain't been in yet. Gave you all the passwords, you ain't even had to check. Did what was going on before it even happened, yeah. Out of all of these bitches, you the only one I had to get. All of these bitches.
Hey guys, so I want to say a special shout out to Keefyyy Carter. For those who just tuning in, you can go to keefyycarter.com. That's KEFYYY.
Two E's.
Two E's?
Yeah.
So KEEFYYY Carter.
3 Y's.
3 Y's. CARTER.com. I was playing Gone Stay, and that's from his SoundCloud for his up and coming project that should be coming out this season. So for those who want to follow up with him, it's called The Sunrise. You can find him on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Again, shout out to you for coming. Thank you so much for your time. You're always welcome to come back here on MTM Radio.
Thank you.
All right, no
Thanks
problem.
for having me.
So once again, like I said, this is called Gone Stay by Keefyyy Carter.
And I said I had to show you all the moves, it's all news. All the times you done rolled through and brought it back like you supposed to.